I'm here at a property. This is my third skunk call to this property. First time I came out, it really didn't look like the skunks were residential, and so we didn't set up. And then about 6 months later, they called me again, and we had actual skunk smell under the house, and we saw the tracks, and so we removed 2 adult skunks out of there. Now, about 6 months later, again, I've got more skunks, and I've walked the property, and I cannot tell, and I've looked under the porch and everything, and I cannot tell how these things are getting in. So we're gonna set up now down in the basement under the crawl space of the house and see what we catch, but there's gotta be a way that they're getting in, and we, for the life of us, can't figure it out. So we're dealing with skunks. I always take and cover my traps with a black plastic bag that provides this nice little dark tunnel for them to go into, for one. But if they don't shred the bag, that also provides me a little bit of a shield when the trap is set, so I can pull it back at my leisure and not get sprayed. So this is the basement here. Last time, there was this drain hole that's covered in bricks, and we thought they were coming up from there because there was skunk activity going in and out of the drain. But that's been covered with bricks. Again, walking around the property, I can't find where they're getting in. We tried to shore up everything. Don't you see there's a little feather right there? There's skunk tracks all through here. You see that little trail there? Don't know where the heck they're getting in. But I'm going to set the traps down here near the bottom for easy access for dispatching them. All right, for bait, we are using some good old meow mix. That worked great the last time here. Well, we got these 3 traps set down here. I'm just gonna bait them and close it. Put down a little tarp to hopefully prevent any lingering stink from getting in the concrete. And then we'll go and we'll set a couple outside as well. All right, those 3 are set. It stinks like skunk down here pretty bad too. I tested all the traps. I just got to put a little bit more bait leading into the traps there, and then I'll be ready to close this up. All right, so I put a little bit of cat food just outside and leading into each of the traps. I can hear something moving around back there. They're here. All right, I got this one outside trap under the porch done. And this was the old entryway. The cinder blocks are covering up. I put this other one right here. So we got 5 traps out. Hopefully we can catch any and all of them this time. I even brought this woofer, little Hagrid, to see if he could sniff around the edge of the property and see where they're going in and out. He didn't find me anything either. Look what I found running down the road. little kid. So I think I'm at the property whose it is. I'm looking for somebody right now. So back here at the skunk property, Heather with me, and we have found where the skunks are coming in. We thought it might have been this drain, and so I removed the bricks that they placed over it that we put as a preventative maintenance or measure, and it turns out there is at least 1 skunk, maybe more under there. So the answer is a pellet gun and I got my my rain gear on, and so we're gonna try to do this without getting sprayed. All right, here we go. A little flashlight. There is a skunk under there for sure. I'm looking for a head.
Oh, there he is.
Head, or if I can tell. There's a head. Looks like we've ceased movement. I think we got one dead skunk, but we don't know if that's only one. So I'm still being cautious.
Oh, there's another one. I saw one move.
I did see movement there. Alrighty, so it's right there. Make sure. Appears to be dead. So we removed 2 adult skunks from here a few months ago. Covered this up, cleaned it up, and apparently the skunks were denning down this drain. What we got here are juveniles coming out that have grown up in there. Got one out. There's at least one more down here still. Oh, we still gotta give them a little time to settle down a little bit, and then we'll try to get this other one out. All right, there's one little stinker. Skunks, the lid on the back of the bucket is not enough. If you got to transport it in your car, you got to put a trash bag over it and then seal it out. Otherwise, it will make my car smell like skunk for a week. All right, the other one's under here somewhere. Well, what I think I'm gonna do is we're going to let the traps do the work. They've been stuck under there for at least 4 months when I took the other ones. So I got the trap set out here. They're probably starving. I'd imagine skunk's gonna go right into the trap. You can see a little bit of its hair, but not much of it. It's kind of buried itself into the rocks underneath there. So, what we're going to do is give them a way out. That's a lot more than a skunk than I thought I'd see. see that guy right there. We're gonna back out, let the traps do their work, and come back tomorrow. Well, no skunks today. The skunk that was in the hole there is gone. I already had ate some of this kibble that I had up in front of here. I already removed that, or added some more. But the skunk looks like it came out of the hole. And you see, looks like it climbed up out of there. And then looks like it made its way out, potentially, by digging out from underneath the crawl space where they had previously cemented this in, but there's this hole dug here now that wasn't there yesterday. So, it may have left. I am back here in the skunk basement, and we had pulled all the traps. It looks like the skunk has been gone. And we left the drain covered here, and I put some of the cougar bombs material, the cougar urine-soaked straw. I put it in the hole here, and then out the hole outside. And the skunk had apparently retreated back into this drain hole under here, and the material that I put down there is gone. So we know that's in there still. So we are back to, I'm gonna surround this hole with traps and try to block everything off so that it almost has to go into the traps. It's crazy. All right, so we're all set up with this skunkstrosity. So I got 3 live traps centered around this hole here. And that's where the skunk is living in. And then I've taken and I've basically blockaded all around. So when the skunk comes out, while it can get out of there, it's going to be difficult to get out. The path of least resistance is going to be to try to go out through one of the traps. So get the last trap. That one still got the safety catch on, so I got to get that set and then get the heck out of here, and hopefully we get the skunk tomorrow. All right, we're back here now. Looks like they have not disturbed that, so it didn't climb out last night. Now we're heading back to the downstairs here. Open the door slow. What do we got? Oh, there we go. Here's the skunk. That was the one that we hadn't gotten yet. Looks like we got him in the trap. So what I expected, the other juvenile skunk. Alrighty, so looks like nothing else has come out of there. So now it's time to dispatch. Finally. Alright, so I didn't put the skunks in plastic bags in this particular case because it seemed to be something that was scaring them away. So I took the plastic bags out of the mix and I just put big cages. But now as I go down there, you'll see that I'm completely open to that skunk and to getting sprayed by that skunk, which is something that I want to try to avoid. So in my foresight, what I did is I left out a tarp that was down in there. And so I'm gonna basically raise that tarp up as a shield as I approach the skunk in the trap, and then I'm going to lay it over the trap to give me a little bit of cover, and then I'm gonna try to coax it out so I can get a headshot on it and dispatch it quickly and cleanly. Alrighty, so here we are. Open the door gingerly. see our little stinker friend. We're going to take this out, using it as a shield, approach the trap. Alright, so slowly put it over that trap, leaving the front of it open so that I can see its head and I can approach it from the back and basically try to coax his head to the front of him and then dispatch him there. So what I do is I'm just kicking the trap a little bit on the back end to get his little head to pop out there, and then I'm going to dispatch him. So that'll be the method. One shot, one dispatch skunk. Take the anti-spray. There we go. Sorry, little guy. We're just in the wrong place, wrong time. And you definitely deserved a much better life anyway. Scent. Now skunks stink. Even I didn't touch the skunk and he didn't spray, I will smell of skunk just because of the smell down there. So I put him in a bucket with a lid, but that's not enough to seal it. I gotta actually put a black plastic in order to be able to stand it in my car. This little guy, he had an instant death. Well-placed shot in the back of his head. And we'll send him on his way. Just because this call has been so problematic, I'm gonna set the traps out there, leave it for one more day. I think this is the last of the skunks. This is 4 total out of this property, 2 adults and 2 juveniles, but I'm gonna leave it set up for one more day, just to be sure. All right, so this is the thing that has me nervous. Yesterday, I scooped all this rock litter up and threw it up here so I can see if there was other animals moving around. There was definitely a skunk under there, but I'm not sure if it either has another way to dig out into this area and came around, but something went up and down this. So I got the trail cam. I set a trail cam yesterday, so I got the trail cam footage I will look at when I get to my computer tonight to see what was going on. But I'm gonna scoop that back up and we'll see if there's more activity under here. So here is the issue. We got at least 3 skunks here. There's 1 in the cage and 2 out on top of it. And here's another look. 1, 2, and then in the box, you can see that there's the 3rd one. So we got 1 of them. There is 2 more skunks at least on this property. All right, so I came back after I saw the film with the additional skunk activity. Doesn't look like there's been any more. So I added 2 more traps to the end, put that one up on top, that one over there. So I added 3 more total traps. I forgot my bait, so I stopped it. Got some curly fries. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we get both of those guys tonight. They were active at the morning, so like 7:30 this morning is when they were active. So we will see. All right, here we are. Set up again. Looks like we got one of the 2 skunks that are left in that black trap there. So we'll get him out of there, and no activity there. That one must have been down in the hole. There's one more left somewhere. I'll have to check the cam and see what's going on with that. So here we have it, coming out of the dang hole at 8:35. He was trapped at 8:37. Right here we have him trapped. I didn't see the other skunk in the other at all. He didn't show up, but we might have came a little bit too early because they were just getting out and getting around. So might go a little bit later tomorrow. So I had a bunch of videos. The skunk was caught in this trap here. And this trap is the only one that has a back door because it's a fully collapsible trap. And the way they were working it actually must have lifted up his head just enough or pulled down and was able to get this door open, which is nuts, and get out of the freaking trap. Oh my gosh, I can't believe there's 2 more left. Oh, apparently there was 2 more skunks left. I trapped one, but it actually got out of the trap by finding a way to undo the back door. What the hell? Oh, for the first time ever, I had to zip tie this closed. And then I gotta go get some more bait, but I need something that is more attractant than what it is, because this stuff is mildly attracting them, but I need to get something that's stinkier. They were digging under there, and I didn't get camera showing them going down there, but I think they went back down in there. This is nuts. All right, we're set up again. I went with beef fat I got from the Safeway butcher for free to kind of up the ante on the food. Looks like that skunk went down back in the hole, so I brought in 2 bigger traps, kind of set it up, walled it all off, the meat scraps, put the other ones around. Oh, today is a good day. I finally got the last of the known skunks. Oh my goodness, this is the longest skunk job I've been on. But looking at the video cameras, they really had grown wary of the traps. And so I really had to up the ante with the meat, but I got them yesterday and today. After setting up the meat, we got the last couple. So, as far as we know, we're skunk free at this point on this property. However, we're gonna leave the trap set up for one more day. But geez, that's 7. Well, I'm glad I'm finally done with that skunk job. We did leave the traps one more day and left the trail cam under there for one more day and didn't see any more skunk activity, so that's good. It's been a couple days since I completed that job, and the property owner hasn't seen any more skunk activity either, so we finally got him. The stink from the skunks was bad enough, and that was the main concern of the property, actually the renter of the property. However, for the property owner, they've got some issues. Those skunks dug under the foundation of that house, probably weakening it and compromising the foundation of that house, and that's one of the big concerns because the skunks do dig so much. So, it wasn't just a matter of the inconvenience of the stink. There is some real property damage on that site. So, if you're dealing with skunks in a crawl space, I definitely recommend that you get them out ASAP, because in addition to the stink, they can cause some real issues with the foundation of the house. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys.